Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another predictions video. And in today's video, I'm going to be predicting the Ellis versus Villa fight. If you are new around here though and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like video if you do need like video, and let's get straight into it. So going into this fight, Ellis is 24-0 with 15 KOs, and Villa is 25-1 with 24 KOs. This fight is a 12-round fight in the welterweight division. Villa's last fight was a win via unanimous decision versus Bodkachikia, and Ellis's last fight was a win via TKO in round 1 versus Marufo. Ellis is the former WBC International Welterweight Champion. Ellis is a powerful, quick and skilled fighter who can sense weakness and is an impressive counterpuncher when he wants to be, and he showed that in his toughest fight yet, arguably, against Rocha, which he was just very dominant in, to be honest, and that was arguably his toughest opponent yet, and he managed to deal with that quite easily. This is arguably, though, both of their toughest fights. Like I'm saying, Ellis versus Rocha might be a tougher fight. I hope I'm saying his name right. Might be a tougher fight than Villa, but might not be. We'll have to see what happens with this. But they're at a similar level, and I think this is definitely his toughest fight so far, because he's had a lot of fights from his own kind of continent in like South America, and they've not been as tough as what they could have been to get to this level. And so at least it's glad to see that he's like trying to face tougher opponents now, and so it'll be interesting to see if this step up might be a little bit too much for him or not, because it's also a step up for Ellis as well. Also on this pretty stacked card, to be honest, it's the Davis versus Garcia card, which I'll be talking about the main event and the co-main event for that in another video, but this is the third and fourth fight on the card, so it shows a pretty stacked card. Also on this stacked card is Andrade versus Nicholson, which is seen as a bit of a fight to get rid of Andrade's ring rust, because he's not fought since late 2021. I think it was like November 2021, so over a year now. And so I believe this fight will still be a tough fight for him, but it will be a bit of like a get rid of a ring rust fight, and then he'll be back for fighting for titles, probably world titles, if he gets rid of this one relatively easily. Maybe he might have to have another one in between, but we'll have to see, because he is the former WBO World Middleweight Champion, I believe. And I think in this fight, Andrade will win via TKO in round 7. I think it'll be relatively tough, but not like crazily tough, to be honest. Villa has, going back to the Villa Ellis fight, Villa has an immense amount of power, as shown from the fact of he's got 25 victories, 24 of them being knockouts, and has a great kind of shot selection, and he throws with intent, and he really means when he's throwing. And so if any of them land, it could be a big, well, not even a big upset, but it could mean that Ellis is going and getting knocked out if any of them lands. But Ellis is a smart fighter, so he's going to have to try and wait for Villa to maybe overcommit, because it seems like he might do that sometimes, and then kind of strike that and use his counter punching again, which I believe he can do. But it'll be interesting to see how well he can do it too. And Villa, I believe, will probably have to have a quite early success in the fight to be able to get him out of there, because I think that would be the best time to strike when the iron's hot, I suppose, and just come forward from the gate and just be able to try and get him out there early. Ellis is the favourite for this fight, and I think that Ellis will win via unanimous decision. I don't see Villa getting stopped, to be honest, and I think Ellis will just be able to work him down with counter punches and just be able to get through rounds and just dodge the occasional big punch, and maybe be able to get knocked down possibly in the later rounds if he overcommits at any time via. But yeah, I think he'll be able to get a win via unanimous decision. And then there's a few options I've got here. They all can be like working his way up to a world title. I don't think he's going to get put into a world title fight after this, but certain ones might not want to do it because his rankings aren't amazing in the world so far, and so might not all want to come and step down. So this first one in Ortiz Jr., I put it there just because it would be a very tough test, and it'd be interesting to see if he could be at that level. But I don't know if he'd want to fight a fighter a little bit further down in the rankings than Ellis. Not much further, but only a little bit. So I've got Thurman as a good option. I think that could be a possible fight that's happened. I believe he's 30-1 or something, and that can put him straight in a mandatory challenge for a world title if he wants to go down that road, and if Thurman wants to have that fight, or if he still wants kind of like another fight or two against still top contenders, but not quite at the crazy high level yet. Chukazian is about to fight Ennis, and so if he loses that fight, that could be an option for Ellis, because I think that he's still a very creditable fighter in the kind of rankings, and he will still have a relatively high ranking even if he does lose. And I think that fight could be a good fight just to see if he's at that level. Because I mean, if Ennis is having that fight at his point in his career, then Ellis can definitely have that kind of fight in his point in his career. And so yeah, I think any of them could be good fights. But yeah, that is it for today's video. I'm going to be speaking about the rest of the card, like I said, in a day or two. But yeah, that was it. Hope you did enjoy. Like it if you did, need like a video, subscribe if you're new, and thanks for watching.